Hello my sweet friends, welcome to my channel. Seriously, y'all didn't fall for that BS, did you? Welcome. Glad to see you back here. This ain't your grandma's Nutcracker. DIY number 1, Gothic Christmas wall hanging trio. So I got this, or had this left over from last year. These Dollar Tree hanging signs are great for these kind of projects. And I just took it apart. I plugged the holes with lightweight spackle. And I'm just going to paint all of them with black chalk paint. And use the smooth side. Don't use the glittery, bumpy side. And I'm putting the Mod Podge on the back of my little Gothic snowman. Isn't he cute? And he goes on the largest of the 3 signs. Little paper towel, dry paper towel action. I like to do the Mod Podge on the paper so I don't have that finish. I spray it later with the flat clear coat. Seal your projects. You can either do the Mod Podge on top or the spray sealer. Look at that cute reindeer. Look at that big nose. He's so cute. And my Dark Angel. Oh, I just love these. So now I'm going to dry brush some Imperial Red. It's Folk Art Imperial. I was a little nervous about putting the red on there, but they turn out really cool. It's different. We want to highlight some of the red. We've got the Santa hat and the poinsettias are we want those to pop a little bit. And we're just doing the usual. Make sure you get the little white edges that show where you tore your paper, and make sure you tear your paper on the edges. Don't cut them straight because that's just no fun. And here they are. Look at that. Look how they're so cute. They're so cute. Yeah, the red turned out really, really cool. I'm pretty happy with them. So I'm just going to make hangers with this lace I got from Amazon. I'll have the link for you. I'll have the link for the Gothic Christmas papers. They're so cute. There's a bunch of them. So cute. A bunch of different designs. I've used them before. And we're just going to add some hot glue to the top corner of the board. Lay the end of the lace in there. And then some more hot glue on top. Little piece of felt on top of that. And I didn't measure these or anything. You just size up how long you want your hanger before you cut it. And do the same thing with the other side. And then we'll do the other 3. Look how cute. And now my snowman, I'm going to put a little black and red buffalo plaid bow on there. I didn't like how that one corner, I tore it inward too much, and then the paint got a little muddied there, so that's where I wanted to put my bow. Worked out perfectly. And here they are. This project is complete. They are so cute. DIY number 2. This ain't your grandma's Nutcracker. So we're going to do a Gothic Christmas wreath. It's Christmas. We got to do a wreath, right? So I've got a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath ring, wire, whatever you want, wreath form, and some black pipe cleaners. And we're going to start on the outside on that crossbar there. And we're going to just twist around the 2 outer rings, and then the 2 inner rings, then back to the 2 outer rings, and we're going to go all the way around doing the same thing. Just give it a couple nice twists. I have some solid black and some red and black plaid deco mesh. And we're going to start with the black, and we're just going to bunch it together. Leave about 3 inches on the end there. And we're going to attach it to one of the outer pipe cleaners. And just twist it like maybe 2 times, because we're going to come back over with the other, and they're going to be on top of each other. You don't want to get too bulky. And we're going to flip it over. And we pull that excess to the underside and secure it with a zip tie. That just makes sure to keep it in place and keep it from fraying, because this deco mesh does like to fray. That's for sure. This poof method is great because you don't have to worry about that so much. You secure your ends and you don't cut them in pieces. I love to do a cruffle style But yeah, you got to deal with the fraying, and then you got to deal with your. I use a wood burning tool to cut it, and that seals the edges, and it helps a lot. But it's kind of a pain in the butt to get all that out, you know. So we're going to measure out 10 inches from where that first was attached to the pipe cleaner, and we're going to go. We start on the outside, so we're going to go to the inside and secure it with that pipe cleaner. A couple good twists. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing all the way around. We go in and out, measure 10 inches. Attach it to your next pipe cleaner. This is a pretty good one for beginners because, first of all, you don't have to worry about the fraying. But if you take your time, and it's not hard to do. Measure 10 inches again. And we go into the inside. It's a little more difficult to get the second second color on because you've got to untwist your God bless America, I can't talk. You want to untwist your pipe cleaner to attach it, because if you've got it twisted a couple times, then you put it on top, twist it a couple more times, and then you got ribbon, it gets kind of bulky. So now I've gone all the way around, and all we're going to do is, well, first of all, we end where we began. This is the last poof. We measured our 10 inches, and we're going to attach it to the spot where we started. The first pipe cleaner is your last pipe cleaner. And you see I undid it there. And we lay that down, and then we want to make sure we tighten it real good and tight the second time once you're putting the second layer on. And then you can go ahead and give it 2 or 3 good twists. Cut off the excess, and then do the same thing as before. You tuck that tail to the underside and secure it with your zip tie. And you're halfway done with this wreath base. Zip ties sometime they kick my butt. I edited out where I was fighting with it. they can be a pain. So now we're going to start with our red and black. And don't start this in the same place where you started and ended the black, because then it gets too bulky. Start on the opposite end. And we do the same thing. We pinch it together, leave a tail of about 3 inches. And we're just going to secure it to an outside pipe cleaner. Like I said, it doesn't matter which one, just not the same ones you were just using. Tuck it in. Secure it in the back. Ooh, someone's shooting outside. Well, my dog's gonna start wigging out. Yeah, one dog doesn't care and the other one gets a little scared. It's crazy. And then we'll trim all those strings off. So it gets a little more difficult, but you just take your time. Like I said, you measure out the 10 inches again, just like you did with the black. And we're going from the outside in, but we want them to kind of weave in and out of each other. Okay? So I did my first poof from the outside to the inside. And now you see where that black poof goes down or out, goes outward. You want the red and black to go inward. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And you see you're kind of naturally going in the right direction. So the next one, I'm lifting that black poof kind of up out of the way a little bit. Then this red and black is going to go on the outside. So hopefully watching me makes sense what I'm saying, watching what I'm doing. It's a lot easier to watch than to explain. So this next one, that one goes to the outside. So this next one goes to the inside. And yeah, they look scraggly and you can see the wireframe, but you have to open them up and poof them out when you're done. And again, 10 inches there. Every one of them's 10 inches. That doesn't change. Then this one we're going to come around to the outside. The poof goes to the outside. And attaches to the inside pipe cleaner. And you can use this method for any colors. You can just do a summer wreath. You can do, you can do an Easter wreath. You can do pink and blue. It doesn't matter. Or you can do all one color for your base. And then you don't have to worry about it so much weaving it back and forth like this if you're doing all one color. But this is how I like to do it. Some people will lay the rolls of mesh on top of each other and do it once and then poof them out in different directions. But this is how I like to do it. And again, we're doing the same thing. We are ending where we began with the red and black, and you've got it secured with that zip tie there. Oh, I guess I didn't get that tightened up. Okay. And you can untwist them, just kind of leave it like a half twist, because it does develop a little bit of memory. It's not going to go anywhere unless you get crazy. Just, press your fingers down on it and it'll stay in place. And it's more patience. Take your time. And if you get one, if you twist it in the wrong place, take it off and, back up a step. It's not a big deal. But yeah, you can go to Dollar Tree and get they don't have the 10-inch mesh, or mine doesn't. I think some do, but mine doesn't have the 10-inch mesh usually. It's the 5.5 inch, 6 inch, something like that. And you can practice with that before you go spending money on better mesh. But yeah, then that, you talk about something that phrase, but they have so many fun colors. You can't find all those fun colors anywhere else. So it is fun to do when you're doing a cute little Halloween wreath. So now everything's attached, and we're going to go around and just open up all our poofs. And you just get your fingers underneath and pull them apart. That's all you got to do. And this takes a little time. You just got to sit there, sit there with the TV on and poof up your poofs. And then this black is quite sheer, but there's some ribbon and some, embellishments are going to fill in the blanks, if you will. So here we're all poofed up. So pretty. Now here's our ribbon. I got this at Christmas time, and this is just black and red buffalo. You can't find that in the store necessarily. You can find black and white, but you can always go on Amazon and get seasonal ribbon if you want. But anyway, you'll see here I measured these at 12 inches. That turned out to be too long, so turn out at 10 inches was the winning number. So cut these at 10 inches, not 12. And this black glittery ribbon, I got this at Michael's after Christmas for like 90% off. And I'm like, well, damn. And the first thing that popped in my head, of course, was Halloween. Imagine that. I guess nobody wanted black ribbon for Christmas. So I bought like 4 rolls of it. It's so pretty. I did a bee wreath that has it on there. I did a ladybug wreath that has that ribbon on there. I've used the heck out of it. And I still have like 2 rolls. It's really pretty. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. We lay the red and black on top of the black and just kind of put it off kilter. Or you can actually kind of put them in more of an X if you want. That's kind of a matter of preference. I'm sure you've seen these ladies on here making wreaths that do it that way. You kind of have to find your groove, what works for you. Plus, this black ribbon I'm using is so thick and stiff, which is great because it holds its shape. It goes where you want it to go. But it was a little hard to grab it and pinch it together. When I make the bow, again, it's great for structure, but it was kind of a pain in the butt because it's so thick, but it's really nice heavy duty ribbon. So anyway, make sure you find your center, pinch it in the middle, and attach to your pipe cleaner, and then you twist a few more times, clip it off, and fold it down underneath where you can't see it. You're not going to see these black pipe cleaners with this dark ribbon and mesh anyway, but and then I'm going to put these on every other. I'm going to put them on every other on the outside of the wreath. And you see how I'm struggling to pinch that heavy black ribbon. But yeah, I put a couple on, and once I spread them out and looked at it, I'm like, well, that's way too long. Plus, it's 2.5 inches wide. It's really wide, so. But it was hanging off the edge. It just wasn't cooperating. So we do that. We go all the way around with the ribbons. Continue the same way, but 10 inches, not 12. So here I have this little Dollar General wooden sign. I painted with Imperial Red, Folk Art Imperial. And I've got my little Not Your Grandma's Nutcracker over here. He's so cute. I just love it. And we're doing the same thing we did for our hanging signs. It's the same thing. It's just a different sign. He's a little bigger. And the picture, he's got legs all the way down to his feet. But I cut him off below the below the poinsettias. So, oops. Anyway, there he is. And we painted that red, and we're going to dry brush in black. So we're doing, kind of the opposite we did on the wall hangings. But yeah, these papers are really cool. But there's, the reindeer, I think, is probably my favorite. But there's like the little girl, and then there's like a Jack skeleton looking dude, and they're just so cute. But yeah, I gotta make sure I remember to put that link in my description for you at Etsy. And this is, I just use regular printer paper. The rice paper, like I said, is great. The appearance of it, but sometimes you just don't have time to fight with that stuff. And there he is, all distressed. Now, I did not use these pieces. I thought they might work because they kind of look like snowflakes, kind of looked Gothic, and I didn't use them, but I'm showing you this because I want to show you how I attach the pipe cleaners. I put E6000 in the center, hot glue on either side of that, lay your pipe cleaner in the glue, then you repeat the glue process on top of the E6000 first, Kelly. Repeat the glue process on top of the pipe cleaner and add your felt. I didn't record when I did it to the back of the Nutcracker sign because I thought I was going to use these pieces. So I'd left this in so you could just see it's the same process, except I put two pipe cleaners on the Nutcracker sign. So anyway, these are so pretty. I'll use them for something. They came with that whitewash, and I just dry brushed black on them, and they're so pretty. I was like, I'll use them for something. They won't go to waste. So I got these glittery frou-frou poinsettias from Amazon. But we got to take this shiny, glittery mess down a notch. So what I'm going to do, all the cloth or velvet or whatever you want to call it, I guess it's kind of a velvety fabric, we're going to dry brush some black on all the petals. And this was kind of time consuming, but it was worth it to me. And I did the look of it's just, I'll show, there's going to be a before and after picture here in a minute. It looks really cool. And then all this glittery plasticky leaves, I'm not gonna completely cover with paint, but I'm gonna do more to dry brush. I'm gonna put a much heavier amount of black paint on there because that glitter's gonna still show through. It turns out really cool. And I didn't record all this. I'm just showing you what I'm doing here. And we're gonna skip to the before and after shot here in a minute. But yeah, they turned out so pretty. And I don't think I show it on the video. I also painted dabbed the stamens in the center with the black paint as well. And there you go. They turned out so cool. But yeah, once I had the sign, and my bow turns out huge. So I was like, I don't have any room for these other things. So we lay our black ribbon down in my little homemade bow maker and twist it so that the bad side shows. I'm sorry, I shaved the front off too much, but you lay it in there and you twist the loop end so the ugly side shows, so when you fold it over, the pretty side's on top. And then there you go. So we do the same thing on the other side. We twist it and then we untwist the the spool. This ribbon is, oh my goodness, it was kind of hard to manage, but it made a great bow. And we're going to, I'm measuring the same, I think I measured them at 6 inches for these loops. And you can pick them both up, just make sure you hold on to it in the center, pick them up both up and compare them to make sure they're the same length. I always have that problem. I'm like, I measure them and I still have a loop longer than the other. I don't know how I do it, but I manage to. Drives me crazy. And we're going to do 4 loops of this black ribbon. So I've got the, see, there you go. You can check it, make sure they're even every now and then. It's easier to fix one that's on top than to take some off and go back and fix it. And then we're going to twist again. Ugly side up, so that the top is the pretty side. And bows, I'm bow challenged. Yes, I am. I have to have the bow maker. I've tried to do the hand, but it just doesn't work for me. But I made this little bow maker with a Halloween sign from DG or somewhere, Dollar General, and a couple dowel rods. Had my husband drill a couple holes in there and just some hot glue. That's it. Because the bow dabber's like 20 or 30 bucks or something ridiculous. So I'm like, no thank you, I'll use my little dowel rods. It's more me anyway. I don't need no bow dabber. Get out of here. Yeah. Goodness gracious. And so yeah, so I curl it over my finger like that to mark where the loop is, then find the center and pinch it. And that's all I'm doing there. So I've got my 4 loops, and I made the second, the third and fourth loop a little smaller than the first 2. And then you can kind of come in and gradually make them smaller. But yeah, this ribbon's so wide, I made a giant bow. It's pretty though. I was very proud of it. Like I said, I'm bow challenged, and when a bow comes out, especially on the first try, I'm just crazy ecstatic. I'm just like, yes. And now this ribbon has, both sides are pretty good, but if you twist it, it gives it better structure in the center. So I went ahead and did it anyway. I try to stay in the habit of doing it for future bows, because most of them don't have, both sides are pretty, you know. And I made that, see, that's just a hair shorter than the black loops. And we twist it again, and we do 4 loops of the red and black as well. Yeah, I can't imagine if I did any more loops than that. This thing was already huge. I was like, oh man, I don't have any room to put my non-snowflakes on here. I'll have to use them for something else though, because they are some kind of pretty. I got some other ones similar to that too, that just a little bit of paint. Dollar Tree has all these cute little wall hangings like that. I gotta find them. I have a bunch of them. I have like 6 or 8 of them that are different shapes than that. And just a little paint makes them look really nice. So I've been thrifting. I keep promising you dragons. I know I haven't done it yet, but see, that's kind of a involved project. It's gonna be like a series. But I've been thrifting and collecting and scheming, and oh, I can't wait. But yeah, that's gonna be fun. And we're gonna check our loops, make sure they're the same. Now next week, Tuesday's video is going to be much simpler projects. I did this full-blown wreath, and then the last 2 videos, very involved projects, and my canva's been acting up. So I'm going to get behind if I don't slow down a little bit. So we're going to have some simpler, easier projects next week. But we're going to have our giveaway next week too. So I put my spot tie underneath the center of my bow, and I went ahead and cinched it, but not all the way down, just to hold on to it and lift it out of my little homemade bow maker there. And before we tighten it, we're going to put a pipe cleaner through the back. That's how we attach it to our wreath. I forget to do that half the time too. And then we tighten down our zip tie. So I'm going to go ahead and fluff it out a little bit, but it's kind of hard to do until it's attached, but you kind of want to twist it and pull it and get it halfway in shape as best you can. And again, this black ribbon, once you put it that in shape, it stays that way. It really does, and it lifts up the bow. It turned out it's huge. Wait, you see it on the reel. It's huge. But yeah, it turned out pretty nice. So there's my bow. I love that black. Look at it sparkle. Look at that sparkle. It is so pretty. Nobody wanted it. the sad, lonely ribbon. I'm like, I'll take all of them. Thank you. 90% off at Michael's. Hells yeah. So I'm just going to shorten my tails a little bit and dovetail them. I end up shortening the tails a little bit more because they were covering up. I think it covered up one of the poinsettias. We can't have that. And I end up trimming them. And you can, on the wreath, you can trim them and dovetail them if you have to. So there's all my elements. Now we're going to make a hanger real quick before we put the bow and flowers on. That way we're not mashing up our bow. And I'm going to find a crossbar. And you saw me, I just looped it and twisted it a few times. And I'm going to pull this underneath the outer two rings. Make sure the hoopty lines up with the top edge there. And I'm going to crisscross it across the, well, let's say top. The top, excuse me, it's the top right now. And then we're going to bring each of them from the opposite direction around the back of the loop. It's hard to see because it's black on black. Twist that a couple more times. Then I'm going to tuck it under the just the outer one ring and twist it around one more time. There, you see I'm twisting it. It's like I said, I'm sorry, it's hard to see the black on black. But especially if you do it on a crossbar, it's not going anywhere. So now, basically, we take our pipe cleaners and we just find a spot between the poofs and twist it to the back, but don't twist it all the way down and clip it yet. Get it on there, make sure it's snug, it's not moving around, and it's laying the way you want it before you twist and trim your pipe cleaners. But basically, with the poof wreath, you just go where the poofs are connected to the wire, and I usually don't have any trouble attaching the sign the first try. But yeah, get it on there and look at it, check it, and that's it. He's on there. He's not going anywhere. Now my flowers, they came with stems. I added a little hot glue and added the stems. And then luckily the stems were kind of bendy. And this did take a little effort, but I managed to just twist them around the wire where they didn't go anywhere. Now you can pull them through and you can actually glue them into the mesh if you have to. I would just rather not. I don't want to get hot glue all over everything. So you see, it's kind of a fight, but once you get it going, and again, you may not use these same flowers, and you can always use a shorter stem and glue them. So, anyway, so they're the same thing with the bow. I did the same thing with the bow as I did with the sign. Go in between and fasten your bow. And here they are. These little Gothic papers are so dang cute. That reindeer just tickles me. And of course, here's Not Your Grandma's Nutcracker. Thank you guys for being here with me. I sure hope you enjoyed today's projects. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. We have a really great community here. Everybody's so much fun in the comments. Join us. We're having lots of fun. Thank you again. Have a good one.